I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I am your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, Brilla 68, this might be a short one, y'all. I'm sorry. Work calls from multiple angles. The family was sick for a week or so we're behind, but we're always moving forward. As this country moves forward, sheesh, in ways I never imagined. My friend and I think listener of the podcast, loosely, when she has time, Auntie Holly had some words to say that were really inspiring to me. But in essence, it's about community, going forward, showing up for the people you love in ways they need you to. That's all it's ever been about since the dawn of time, before any democracy or any type of these social constructs, these ideals manifested into all these multiple isms. Human beings connecting and showing up and doing what's right. There are no laws that can stop it. No laws that ever stop. It's really bizarre to me to watch hip-hop flip out about certain things. Laws have always been ideas to me. Had I, let the government tell me what the value or the status of marijuana would be in my life, the status of my art, if I had waited for the U.S. government or had my ancestors waited for the U.S. government to make them human beings before they start acting and saving like them and teaching their children as if they were 100% human beings, not 3/5 of a man. There's so much that as my life as a Black American has prepared me for so much. I am not shocked. It does not change anything for me, but it may change how I have to fight or what I don't have to fight. But I am happy to be a part of the community I'm happy to have the friends and family I have. I don't know if any American president has ever represented me. But at the same time, I am a representative of this nation. And I do my best to be a great human, to make up for whatever the other great humans in my country lack or need, or the not so great humans. There's not so great humans. Those of us that are fighting the good fight, maybe we have to fight harder, but I believe at all times I've been taught in the life I led, like I said, as a Black American, I fight my hardest at all times. Me existing in certain spaces is my fight. My children existing and showing up authentically is resistance. I don't know my father, never didn't, it's impossible now, he's dead, but I am breaking cycles and, I am educating my children. I am loving my children. And to me, though, that is the radical shit. That is the revolutionary shit. That's the non-glamorous shit, the not pretty shit. Everybody just has finished being sick, and even not sick, I have a 19-month-old that wakes up in the middle of the night and screams, "Dad," and needs to know where I am. And it's disruptive to my sleep. It's not the funnest thing that he wants to sit up and just sit with me for an hour, but there's power in that. That is to me, in my community, that's the revolutionary work. There weren't dads. Even if they were present, they were working their ass off. You better not wake them up, I don't have a place that I have to be at a certain time in the morning most days. So I can give him that. And that comfort and that solid foundation.
We may not have a cent to pay the rent, but we're gonna make it. I know we will.
We may have to eat beans every day, but we're gonna make it. I know we will.
And if a job is hard to find and we have to stand in the welfare line, I've got your love and you know you got mine. We're gonna make it. I know we will.
We may not have a home to call our own, but we're gonna make it. I know.
I love you if nobody told you. And I think some people feel like they need to hear it now more than ever, but I try to make it a habit of telling people all the time.
The problem is, at the end of the day, no good things come our way. Feeling some kind of way, I hustle every day. Can you tell me what the problem is? What the problem is? Wanna know what the problem is? Can you tell me what the problem is? What the problem is?
The problem is we all out for self in a world that's consumed by greed and wealth. It's a dog eat dog and we cannibals for capital. The will to survive in the animal is natural, but the desire to rule in the pursuit of pure power is the path of the fool. We chase crowns till we laying face down. Our worldly possessions keep weighing us down. In rain clouds, I move like a quiet storm. No shroud, stand proud, why should I conform? Beyond the norm, I exceed the hype. Beyond all the bullshit and the stereotypes. Throw this in your stereo, this is my life. On a day so dark, you would swear it was night. Knife came with the beat to help me carry the light, so you can stand your ground, whatever the fight. You work for yours like I work for mine. On some P-Rod shit, got a perfect grind. What's next from the west like I'm first in line. From the coast that's known for the surf and shine. Write rhymes like I'm trying to save the earth in time. Before my girls get big and give birth to mine. I encourage you to live, put the worst behind. Never worry about the past, it ain't worth your time.
The cover of this record was taken by Stevon Oriole. I don't know where Stevon came from in my life. Probably from my publicist, Richie Abbott. But he was doing stuff on 6th Street near Skid Row. That was like the branding. He was using him in cartoon. Had a shop down there and they were doing, we saw, they did the Gears of War 2 opening. I was getting invited to lots of things they were doing and I was in their mix. Which is unique because in Los Angeles, I have, if you live in the Valley, it's a little more, I think, mixed. Where I come from, there's not, in my shows, yes, but in my neighborhood, there's not a lot of black and brown mixing. I grew up in a neighborhood with a bunch of gangbangers who didn't have problems with Latino gangbangers. There's always been coexistence and somewhat peace. My understanding is that when you go to jail, that disappears. So it's not a war on the streets, but when you're around a black person that's been spent time incarcerated and a Latino person, a Mexican or a El Salvadorian person, usually there's some tension sometimes. But most of the time it's just you do your thing, we do our thing. So me being invited to some of these spaces where people were very typical Chicano gangster style shit. I've always been a fan of lowriders and, for black, like we did Crenshaw. I don't know where they do like mostly Latino lowriders and stuff. That wasn't my thing, but I liked oldies, and I definitely worked at a dry cleaners where there were, definitely Chicano gangbangers in and out of there. I've cleaned a lot of Ben Davis, checked a lot of Ben Davis and Dickie's pockets, creased and all that shit. So I'm familiar with the culture and a fan, and definitely crushed hard on a lot of cholas when I was little. The Old English Letters, the name of this record, Fornever, like all that shit. Like it's part of who I am, but it's not. It's not my native tongue, so to speak. For Stevon, it is, and it's all rooted in LA gang culture. My roots, I think his roots. And so, and there's ethics. That's why I've never had any problems with for the most part, knock on wood, any OGs. Leave Weird Cuz alone has saved me a couple times in my life. Like, I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not a threat to them. I'm not a fucking poser. I am who I am. And we in other episodes we heard, like when people did have to run a check on me, I come back more authentic than they thought most of the time. I'd rather err on that side. I'd rather think you're I'd rather have you think I'm something I'm not in a positive way for than to you think I'm tougher than I am, or something, me trying to be tougher than I am, because I'm not that tough. Stevan's just a good dude. I think he looks scary to a lot of people, probably, but talented dude. And I was already a big fan of his, and we hit it off. They invited me to the studio. We got a budget for this. I don't know, probably my manager's idea. And he said, let's have it. Stevan shoot the cover. And I'm like, yes, we're doing an album on the West Coast with Ninth. Ninth needs to meet him, and like, you know. And then when Ninth was like, oh man, you got us pulling up with the OGs. Like, what? Whoa. Like, he's like, damn, Mr. Cartoon, like, you know, in their studio hanging out. And I think the day of the shoot, it was Rohan was there. You know, that was a funny moment hanging out. I think we talked about that. Him being a Florida State, you play for University of Miami. Ninth Wonder's a Florida State fan. I'm a University of Florida Gators fan. It's all heated Florida college football rivalry. And we're sitting there kicking the soccer ball back and forth at Stefan's studio, like joking. It was like the most, a dude from North Carolina, a Marley, Murs, and Esteban. But not only that, Esteban shot the video for The Problem Is. This has got to have Richie's hands all over it. And like the crackheads, the gangsters, everybody down by the 6th Street Bridge. And this is before they rebuilt the bridge. It was super grimy. Not that it's not, but it was super grimy. And we were walking through, shooting whatever we want, doing whatever we want. Not in an asshole way, but just in like, oh, this is Esteban. He's here all the time. You know what I mean? He's part of this community. You know, he had moved, I think by then the shop had closed on 6th Street, and he had moved closer to the bridge. So The Problem Is video was down there. And I don't know if it was, I had a separate relationship. So that's Esteban, we shot the video and the cover. I feel like maybe, no, because Knife wasn't in the video. So we shot the cover first. And yeah, under the 6th Street Bridge with a old fucked up couch. I was trying to learn how to tie up my dress because it finally started hanging in a weird way. I would soon, in the next couple of years, cut it because it was just fucking up my neck and the way that I slept and the way that I walked. Or a fake, like, leather jacket in that shoot. What else? And we didn't talk about the Murs for President cover. That's another photographer who's great. His name is Lionel Huet. I can't. He's a French dude. I think Frank Maddox recommended him. We looked at all these photographers. I said I want him. He had had some pretty infamous pictures of Angelina Jolie, some of his most famous, and he was also Kat Von D's photographer at the time as well. And this one, she had just opened High Voltage at the peak of her, like, reality TV tattoo fame. And that was right next door to my barbershop. And I was still getting, like, my beard and mustache edged up because my barber at the time, my barber's longest barber, I had, big homie, was just like, you got to make it look like it's on purpose, bro. You can't be looking homeless and everything. You got to make it look like it's on purpose. So he would edge up even around my forehead, which is my hairline. It comes in so atrociously, but I've just learned to live with it. Lionel, on the first call we had with him, thought that he would make a joke and be like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to shoot with Murs unless he shoots nude. And then thought it was going to scare me. And I was like, all right, you know, like, this is the guy who filleted a adult film star on the air. I'm just down for whatever. If you get, especially if you can get it on film, you know, somewhat jackass mentality. So we start shooting. I get to a studio in Venice. We go to Venice Beach. We get in the water. The cover for Murs for President is me standing in water on the beach. It looks like I'm walking on water. I think it's in the canals. And the morning dew is rising behind. It's an amazing picture. I wish I still had it somewhere. But then Frank took it and fucked it up in a good way for the album cover. But and it was me screaming, and I was like, it just, the epic photo, like you see of like Angelina Jolie, those type of great photographers. And I remember telling him, like, I'm going to have to live into these photos. Like, I'm going to have to be deserving of how famous you make me look. Like, now I see, like, oh, this is the machine that makes people look famous. Like, this is part of it. The stylist and all that shit, it's for a reason. Because if you don't dress yourself, you look like you didn't dress yourself. You look like you're so important, you didn't dress yourself. Like, it's the royal thing. If you have a great photographer taking pictures of you, of someone who's great at dressing people and great at, in my hair, I think was great on its own, but even you have great people doing your hair, And even before the shoot, I had to call my barber, and I was like, man, I didn't get to get an edge up. We're about to do the photo for the album cover. And he's like, bro, I hate to do it to you, but if I leave, you know, like, because he was John Singleton's barber, rest in peace, and a couple other people who are still living. I won't tell their business. But he was, you know, barber to the stars, as well as regular people. But he's like, when I'm at the shop, he's like, I charge people not because I know niggas is rich, but also if I miss a day of work, I'm missing this many heads, and I'm canceling on real customers if you call me over. So I'm like, come from Hollywood to Venice to cut my hair. So I had to, like, I think I paid him $275, $350, something crazy. And I was like, all right, to edge up my non-existent goatee, basically, like a thin ass goatee and my forehead. But I, you know, at that point I could afford it, and I loved being able to do that. And I never done that with him before. But, you know, he introduced me to John Singleton, and so many other people, man. He's always looked at, he's, you know, he's, you know, like, that's the thing, is like one of those things, like rappers who had something slick to say and sat down in his chair and be like, hey, my nigga, check this out. You know, Murs, we're not gonna do that. Oh, well, I didn't know. Yeah, we're not gonna do it. My barber is like that. He's one of those ones. Let's just say he wasn't always a barber. So when it came time for me to break bread, y'all like, yeah, come on out, like, you know. And he came, edged me up. We took the photos, and then at the end of the day, like, dude brought out these watches, and he starts telling me the importance of watches. He's like, rappers get these watches, but these are real watches. He's like, I always wanted to show a rapper. He's like, do you want to see watch? He just nerded out with taught me so much about investing in watches and how they work. And none of them had diamonds on them, but he had like watches that were worth absurd amounts of money that I didn't even understand. He explained to me why. We're just hanging out, and this is what you should invest in. I'm like, all right. And we just became friends. We really became this older French man and his young, black, weird, Rasta, Crip dude, whatever people call me, bumperhead Crip. We hit it off. And so then I was like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with him. So then I just got butt ass naked. I was like, what's up? I thought we were taking nudes. And he was like, oh shit. You know, I was just kidding. Fuck. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. This motherfucker said, all right, he had to one-up me. He said, I'm going to go get my girlfriend. I haven't met her parents yet. And he was dating a younger Canadian girl, white Canadian woman. And he's like, can she grab your dick? And I'm going to take this picture and send it to her parents. I said, go for it. So there's a picture of me and his girlfriend holding my penis. It was wild. Your boy's out of his mind. We laughed. So after that, we were locked in. We were friends. So then a couple of days later, he calls me, my friend. What are you? And I can't do his French accent. What are you doing? I was like, I'm not doing shit, man. What's good? He's like, Cat is setting the Guinness World Record for tattooing. I want to come support her. We can cut the line. The line's around the corner, but you come in, get it. We're going to be, I think we were number 7 and 8 in line. She did 24 hours worth of tattoos and so on. And they put me on the TV show. I'm on the show too. So High Voltage. He's like, we're going to get LA tattoos. Cause I've been living here. I love LA and you're so fucking LA. Once anyone gets to know me, like I can't help myself. So he's like, you're so fucking LA. Like if I get it with you, I feel good. Like, come on, man, let's go. And we went in this huge fucking line. I have a Kat Von D world record setting. I never thought about that. And I did set a Guinness World Record for marathon. So she did a tattoo marathon. I did a rap marathon, and I have a Kat Von D LA, High Voltage LA tattoo. It doesn't say High Voltage, it says LA, but in the High Voltage font. So shout out to Kat Von D. But shout out to Lionel, because we're tattoo brothers. Me, Jay Bird, Slug, Mr. Dibbs all have the same tattoo, and me and Lionel. And then me and my other homie from the hood, we had the same tattoo for other block.
This week on LA Inc., I attempt an ambitious new challenge.
I got accepted by Guinness World Records. I'm gonna do the most tattoos in a 24-hour period of time.
But this time, I may be taking on more than I can handle.
I don't think I can make it.
No one said getting into the record books would be easy.
Either do what I ask or I'm gonna shut you down.
There's such bad planning, it's not even funny. There is no plan.
And once the marathon begins, making it through 24 hours suddenly seems like an impossible task.
The Problem Is was sung by Uncle Chuck. God bless and rest in peace of 1500. He helped direct the choir for Time Is Now, Murs for President. I called him back in for this, and this is like they had the beat, and he wanted something to sing. He's like, we need somebody to sing. I think I just called him up. Through Terrace, I've been in sessions with Chuck and I knew what he could do. And Knife was like, yo. Everybody brought in. Knife was like, yo. Like, and I was like, I want to rap with Jack on this. And me and Jack have become friends. I don't know how I met Jack originally, but he went to school with one of my homies. So I always heard of Psycho Realm and how they were real hip hop, and him and Duke. Aside from living in LA, knowing their impact, like I knew them when we were all starting out, because my homies would always tell me, oh, I was in class with the dude. He did this album with Be Real.
We came to drop these styles, it's no shock. We rock till the cops come and knock non-stop. We come from psycho cities and blocks where raised by gunshots, no life in hip-hop.
Despite the rules, I choose to be one of the chosen few, leaving you confused. Then what got you all amazed? How the fuck we could be so blazed? It takes one black to fill your life with terror. Think of all the bullet holes embedded in your area. Bullets at the end who get shot. My motherfuckers making hip hop.
They were cool with Martin as well on Pico. So before I knew more about Pico, how far it went, being in gang culture, you really don't go where you're not supposed to be at. So he's from Pico Union, I'm from Pico and La Brea, very different Picos. But Jack was just a very authentic dude. I love Psycho Realm, the music, the movement, the style of performance. One of my partners was hesitant to have Psycho Realm on, like the Cholos are going to show up, and they were, doing shit with Quali, I think Immortal Technique at the, what's it called, the Grand Olympic Auditorium when that was still popping. It's legendary. You used to have wrestling there. My uncle tells me you used to see Rocky Johnson there. They love Rocky Johnson was a shit to young black kids, especially in LA. And I have so many stories, like growing up, like Rocky Johnson would see the black kids and they would, and he would like, just, hey, champ, and like just be super, those stories I hear about Muhammad Ali type shit, or a little, because there's not many young black champions, black guy, men especially, they get to beat up on white people on TV, real or fake, as people say, or just being a strong black image on television, as this is in the wake of them assassinating the character of and assassinating a lot of our leaders. So Rocky Johnson, Muhammad Ali become even more important.
I'm saying you talking about me about some draft, and all of you white boys are breaking your neck to get to Switzerland and Canada and London. I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Viet Congs or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
Basketball players become even more important for that reason, just to give you some ideas, not just about the shoes or the sport. It's like where you can get out and get the better of your oppressor and not have to suffer the consequences of repercussions, where you're allowed to be greater than a white American and not get cheated for the most part. There are very few spaces where black faces got to do that at this time.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down. It doesn't appear as if London's going to be able to make it to his feet. The fight is over.
Breaking news now.
The City of Angels.
Deadly shooting.
This is breaking news.
Be Real of Cypress Hill and Sick Jacket have reunited once again to cause chaos in the streets. That can only mean one thing. The Psycho Realm Revolution has returned.
Jack and them are selling it out. They're an independent group. Street Platoon, Six Symphonies, that era.
I
harder than I ever did, smarter than I ever was. Careful what you caught up in, gangster, a hustler. Enemies are close by with envy and semis. I'm friendly and carrying a grudge. We don't budge, try to judge. We the ones screaming out fuck love, meaning we don't give a fuck what you thinking of us. Cause when you grow up in the lost cities, better be quick. Those bullets are coming at a high velocity spit. Searching for the lost souls, all of them are hostile. This is what it costs you, traveling the crossroads, painted like Picasso. Memorize how the song goes.
I cannot state enough the importance to Cycle Realm's importance to independent. Like, they toured with ICP. You want to shit on ICP, that's a whole nother podcast, bro. They are not to be shit on for at least for their contributions to independent hip hop culture. It's not the same without them. And like I said, this is like so few people. It's me, LP, like Jack and Hyro. Like, we're touring together because there's not a lot of rap tours going out, and definitely not a lot of indie rap tours. So we are doing our best to make a living, to make an impact, and keep real hip hop alive. I don't know Jack's struggle with being a Chicano East MC, but I can only imagine. But he never changed this shit up, smoothed this shit out, changed up his message, his production style. He has ill beats. But yeah, they didn't want him on Rock the Bells or Pay Dues. Not him, anything he did personally, but they thought the crowd. That's what I kept hearing, the crowd. And this will go into the Pay Dues podcast. If you say subscribe to Patreon, I owe you guys one, but Pay Dues 4. At Pay Dues 4, I said, okay, look, to my partners, I was like, I'm going to ask Jack for a favor. To perform in LA, he gets an obscene amount of money. I'm going to ask him to come out and perform, surprise everyone, a surprise performance. And that caused an issue. But if this goes well, I want to book him and pay him and put his name on the flyer the next time. It'll help us.
Samples, live about words, we the real life examples.
And I was doing a similar thing for Tech too, because Tech had friends at my partner's company, but didn't feel like Tech fit the bill. And when I wanted to grow it, I was like, we got to do all. I wanted ICP, I wanted Tech, I wanted Ghetto Boys, I wanted UGK, I wanted Devin, I wanted Cycle Realm. I wanted all of us. Because I think that we needed that. We are independent hip hop. We can sell as many as fucking Summer Jam. I knew it, and I was fucking right. But that's ego. It's the fact that it happened. But Jack showed up. He did that, and I was like, now I want to do a song with him. I want to do this song, and then I want to go on tour with him. Like, I want to unite Black, brown, indie hip hop. Like, I want to do. Like, we're two of the most popping independent rappers in LA. Why aren't we making music together? Why aren't we doing shows together? It doesn't make sense to me. Let's do it. So we did it. I don't know if it was as impactful as I wanted it to be, but we shot an ill video downtown. It was just great to hang out with Jack, to get to know him even more. Yeah, dude. Love both of those dudes very much. Great fathers. Yeah, just, I really was like, wow, this is a stand-up circle of men. When I got like welcomed into that circle, the Soul Assassins, Muggs, man, I hate to tell you guys how many times Muggs has been graciously offering me beats, and I never made the time to fucking knock it out of the park. Maybe somewhere deep down, I'm intimidated. One of the nicest, solidest dudes. Man, Elephants on Acid, if you haven't heard it, by the way, if I could recommend one album this week, go listen to that Cypress Hill album. I believe it was the last Cypress Hill album they made. Not this last one ever, but the last one they made.
All of the lands I planted, so many lands, put up to whatever man is under with God's plan. My journey eternal, hellfire spreading wild. Now you're in the inferno. Pray to God that intervene. You feel that you're in a being. A sinner sings a song, plays all day. Will it bring peace to the hearts of men? Spending life on the front lines of life. To no end.
Amazing. I remember Muggs playing that for me. When we were doing Murs for President, I went in and sat with Muggs. he said, let's do something. And I was like, I just want to do a whole project with Muggs. And also I get nervous, like, this is Muggs. Like, when I went to sit with him, I'm like, yo, this motherfucker has a plaque for Colors. You don't get more OG West Coast. He's not from the West Coast. I know, don't tell me. I know that. I know where he's from. I know my history. But you don't get more OG West Coast hip hop than having a fucking Colors platinum plaque. I think platinum or gold plaque.
Colors.
Like, it's everything. It's like the pit bulls, there's tattoos, there's free smoking weed everywhere, like the low rider, like all of that. When you go to Muggs, I'm like, all of that is here. You are really him, you know? And I'm like, I don't know if that intimidated me. I had a song, I wrote to one of the beats. It didn't happen. Then another time, like when I didn't have a big budget, he was one of those people, like some of those people, whether I worked with Ninth Wonder, whether, you know, some West Coast producers didn't want to fuck with me till I got with Ninth Wonder. Someone didn't fuck with me till I got a budget. Muggs fuck with me irregardless. Muggs, Jack, Tunes, Mr. Cartoon, Stevan, like Duke, all those dudes have shown me so much fucking love, bro. It's ridiculous. That's why, like, I've never, like, I buy the Mr. Cartoon shoes, the t-shirts, the fucking Dodgers mask. Like, I have no problem spending money with them and anything Soul Assassins related because they've always shown me love. And I'm from a part of town where, they don't have to. And either way, they don't have to. But because I'm dope and I love the culture, I think that resonates with them. And hopefully they feel like I'm authentic. And so I thought it was important that we do this song and do this video and have Soul Assassins be a part of it, because LA is nothing without the black and brown parts of it. I would say that makes up a very large portion of what is viewed as Los Angeles hip hop and Los Angeles gang and street culture.
Let me start with what I know and let me put it in this flow. We got all the goods we need, but got no money to grow. But got all the coke and weed, but got no profit to show. Junkies got a teen of speed, but their brain is moving slow. Education at an all-time low, still catch an all-time high. Off the kush, Dr. Green Thumb grow. I ain't preaching, I'm just giving you a real 24. It's a cold world, these streets don't feel anymore. There's no way of telling what turn rebelling streets to 3-time felons. The people's government, the big-time villains. Robbers, blind, stealing, just the way it is. Take you for a gang of loot, but $20 got you out here slaying kids. Now tell me why is that? They blame the lies and rap, but what about the medium bullshit they disguise in that? How we got access to ammo when any size of cat, but we can't get a decent school for us to knowledge at. It's called implied malice. They know they turned us into crime addicts on the block chasing superficial status. Now do the mathematics. How many of us die in war on the street or for all who's keeping score? The same cops we pay to protect the service, and the country turns us back even though you fought for it in service. When it comes to my life, it's never one problem. You never know about it till you walk the shoes that I'm in.
And we can go on the verse a little bit. The verse is just like, like street preacher positivity, probably fake ass Brother Ali raps. Yeah, man, it's really hard for me to, at this point, I'm still trying to speak to especially Black West Coast America. And just to be frank, like, niggas are not hearing me, man. They do not give a mad ass fuck. So I don't know if I told the story on the podcast, but some young men were recording. I hooked them up with my homie to record for the summer. Some young men whose parents are my OGs from our neighborhood. And I was like, y'all get in there and do this mixtape. And when I got back, it was just trap the fuck out. Like, I was like, wow, they showed me their first, they're like Murs underground style raps. And that's why I was like, okay, yeah, y'all go here. And then they did some whole other shit. And I was like, man, check this out. The fuck am I supposed to do with this? I believe y'all, but this is not what I sent y'all here to make. And we sat down at D1. I took D1 with them and we went to a Thai place, you know, trying to expose people to new shit. Maybe they had been before. I'm thinking, you know, little in the hood dudes. I ain't been to no Thai food in Eagle Rock. I think it was Eagle Rock Thai. Like it's a spot in LA. And we sitting there. Later, I found one of them got the burner on him, and it's the one who had the burner on him that was like, D1 is like, you know, can't believe it. He's not naive, but he comes off of like, what? Like, you know, he's like, why don't you guys just listen to stuff that says good things? This is D1 10 years ago before he went. I won't say, you know, before he was all over the internet being the positive rap guy. He's really that dude. That's why we were like, he's a cloud chaser. Like, no, man, I seen him like sit with 6 of my little homies are gone. Bonkers, street, for real in streets. And like really try to like reach them. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting back, I'm letting him have at it. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay. What about Lupe? And the dude that was strapped looked up. And I can see now he had the attitude. Like, look both ways, said, man, Lupe be talking about too much real shit and don't nobody give a fuck. I was like, oh, shit. He didn't say Lupe is an imaginary rapper. Lupe is a bitch. None of that. He just, if you say it in another way, Lupe be talking about too much real shit. Lupe's only crime in this man's world, in this young man's world, was talking about real shit. Lupe was guilty of being an authentic artist, and he had a strong distaste for Lupe's penchant for being authentic. I wish y'all could see the face. I mean, but now I know, like, he's sitting with a gun in his left, hand on his gun, legs spread, laid back in his chair at the Thai food spot, and sucked his teeth, like, looked to the side. Like, how do I put this? Like, he took a second. He wasn't aggressive. I think he was trying to be as non-offensive as possible, but get through to D1 like, hey, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you be saying. He said a bunch of other rappers, but I'm not going to say their names because me, D1, and Lupe have a rapport, but, you know, and other rappers be sensitive. But he said a lot of people from not from the West Coast think that a lot of people from the West Coast fuck with certain people, and at least hood people, and they don't. Because we know when you're not really outside, bro. We know. But people from other cities assume, like, oh, okay, this dude's, you know, oh, he's big, or oh, he got these tattoos, or oh, he wears this color, oh, he shot his video in a place that looks like this, and y'all be believing it, and I don't fault y'all. But so there he shot, like, hey, you don't, not even, and I think he had the fatigue had set in, but he's like, this Murs boy, but like, how can I put this? Lupe, he be talking about too much real shit, and don't nobody give a fuck, bro. Done. To my Christian friend who I try not to curse in front of. Oh, it was powerful, bro. Oh, man. I'm sure I laughed the craziest laugh. Lucky I am. Cackle. Oh, man.
First off, say peace to Pine Ridge. Shame at all the damage that the white man wine did. Ghost dance, Pelletiers, 5 million beers a year, and all that other crime did. More pieces to the teachers of blind kids, to red bells and small cells, keeping their mind big. Say everything's hostile. Suicide bombers and prosperity gospels, emaciated models with cocaine and blood pouring out their nostrils. They got to just to stay away.
So, yeah, black people don't really give a fuck about me. And when the kids I mentor, I always tell them, like, America is very commercial driven. I give sorry if we've done a mentorship session because you've heard this a million times or you've heard this before. I am the weird black guy that raps with white people. Maybe you'll get a little emo rap over me, or you get some nice, like, I have my things. This is my thing. I don't do conscious rap, even though I definitely, and I don't think I'm a conscious rapper, but I can't even do pro-black rap. Like, that's Talib Kweli. Murs, you don't do that. This is what you do. You give us some bars, give us some girl shit, give us some funny shit. That's it. But I'm looking at the video. Chase Infinite is able to make fun, and Asia got on me when I bug out my eyes in all my videos. I don't know why I do it. I did it. By the time this drops, I should be dropping Daddy Tron, which is something I've been working on for the past 2 years. It's a compilation of 30 plus videos, 30 seconds of each, 15 to 30 seconds of each of a song that I've done over the past 2 years. Before I started on this final album, I spent a couple years doing EP projects with different producers trying to get in shape. I was freestyling on Twitch either every day or 3 times a week for 2 hours. I wanted to go into these sessions for my last album at my best rapping shape. I don't want any allusions to Mike Tyson. God bless him. He's the greatest boxer, in my opinion. I'm not arguing with anybody. Just he's my favorite and still my favorite. But like an older guy, I didn't want to go in out of shape. I wanted to be the best rapper possible. And Q-Tip and a lot of people say, it's not a sport, it's not a spurt. And I get that. That doesn't mean I can't stop writing and recording music, but that they say, you should keep doing it forever. Not me, maybe you. But I wanted to not be taking this lightly. Like, this is the last album I'm going to make. I am sad about that. I am looking forward to that. I am so many things, but what I'm not going to be is unprepared. So I work with Rob Victim. I work with Recognize. Did some 3MG shit. Did some Ninth Wonder shit. Did some shit with my homeboy Shaka from a group called Supreme, the first group I signed to Warner Brothers. Man, the only group I signed to Warner Brothers, we never got to do a project with together. Rob Victim, somebody I knew from the scene in Dallas, who I saw on Instagram making beats, and I was like, ooh, send me a beat. And he's like, I'll send you a bunch of beats. I was like, all right, let me give you this song. You give me a EP's worth of beats. Who else do I got in there? My home Beats in the Hood. You may have seen him on Drink Champs from EFN's Crazy Hood team. He didn't make Murs Day. But my homie Boris is one of the people I love dearly in rap. I wanted to work with him, so I got beats for him. Sean Kantrowitz, who does a Questions podcast. I did like 5 songs with him and got Oswin Benjamin. But everybody has a very different sound. I wanted to find my sound. I also took 6 to 7 beats from each producer and chose the 5 best. And then out of that, I usually have this many songs that I really love or that are really resonating with people and seeing how people respond. And I didn't promote any of them hard. And I just didn't I'm usually a visual person. I used to be like the indie rapper with the most videos of anyone. I was the first, as I know, me and Tech were the first indie rappers from our scene and Koflo on, Hyro. So there was a few, but we were some of the first on MTV and BET, and definitely some of the first ones from the hip hop category on BET Uncut. So I wanted to be a cinematographer, a filmmaker my whole life, and as long as I've wanted to be a rapper. So videos have always been very important to me, but I didn't shoot any videos from this. I just wanted to see what songs were organically resonating with my core fan base that's supporting me for years. So I give you all the best album, the songs you want. I knew how many songs I had to do to get a good song, you know? And I would say I was like 2 to 3 out of 7, you know? So I was like, okay, going into this album, I told my producer, I told Jesse, I was like, we got to do at least 35 and take the best 10, you know? That's how I know that I'm giving my fans the best last album. And then I know that he did fucking, if you're listening to this Christmas time, he did Sia's Christmas album. He did Kelly Clarkson's Christmas album. Listen to those Christmas albums. It pays the homies.
Don't cry, snowman, not in front of me. Who'll get your tears if you can't catch me, darling? If you can't catch me, darling.
It's like he's in sessions like Lily Allen and whatever. Like he's like he could be with Adele one day. So when he takes 2 days out of the week, we did 2 days a week for 2 years. Like when he takes those hours out, I know so I got to get it in. I don't have a lot of time. I'm not going home to write. I want to get the feeling I got when we were 14 and 15 in his bedroom writing raps and he was making beats and DJing and we're creating. I want that same synergy. So I had to be at peak shape when I went in here. So I knew everything I knocked out is like my mind, my pen, and I could go from being a dad and whatever else I'm being, a mentor, whatever else I'm being that day, an active rapper doing my songs that I've been doing Bad Man and all that stuff, to I got to create something new. I got to create something next level. And I got Tuesday from 2 to 8 to do it. I got 6 hours, 2 days, 12 hours a week to do this. And I want to be fit. And yeah, it was dope. So, but now I want to go back before the new album comes back. I want to go back and give everybody a quick little 20, 30, 15 seconds of each video of each song that I think is worthy, and just do some visual shit. And I saw a rapper named Babytron do it from, I think he's from Michigan, not Detroit, but with Lyrical Lemonade and Cole Bennett. And the day that video came out, it was the #1 viewed video on YouTube in the world. And I'm like, this is what a fucking concept.
Had to go and take the mask off. Lil Cuddy, he don't rap, he just sitting in the trap. He just trying to go and get the bag on. Trying to get where I'm at first, you gotta go and stack, then you gotta go and work your ass off. Do the dash in the track hawk, spin out, burn out, then I finna go and stab off. Finna tax dog like fuck a half off. Sorry, Miss Jackson. No, I ain't sorry, I scam your ass again. I'm just rapping while I'm thinking, I don't even have a pen. Made 110 times, used to couldn't stack a 10. It's alright now. Called the chop RVD, boy, it a drop kick. If you ain't SBDSM, then I am not with you. Big pit, St. Bernard.
Because nobody's watching videos anymore. Everything is down, but I still want to do it. I was like, how do I? And everything's quick. People's attention spans. So I was like, he strung together 20 songs and just 4 bars of it in a different setup and video for each one. They shot it all on the iPhone. I was like, great. I can have my wife shoot these videos. The kids could be in them. I don't give a fuck. One take, I start buying outfits. Like, I've been structuring the scenes, the stage. I wanted it to be all around LA. I wanted to do things with my kids. We lost 5 of the locations and outfits because when we were in Brazil, I'm like, why aren't we shooting? Oh, that's why I reached out to Elif from Brazil, Elelif from Brazil, which also ties in this because Estevan shot the cover for that project. Take It Easy, My Brother Murs. And I wanted to work with the producer in Brazil because I plan to be going there at least annually and maybe more and living there sometimes, possibly. So I wanted to have some types of roots in the hip hop culture and give an offering to Brazilian hip hop culture before I made my way. And thank you, Elif. And when we were down there, I'm like, why am I not shooting these videos here? It's just my wife with her phone and the kids. We've been doing it in LA. So I scratched 5 of those locations and the outfits I had, stylings. We talk about stylists, like just being very intentional about every portion of this and sending the footages to my homie AZ in Arkansas, a young man I mentor, A.Z. if you want to follow him on Instagram. But I sent it to him on FYI, another commercial. I uploaded it all to FYI, the app, FYI.ai, download it now. And then he would take it on his side and put it together and put it back. And then my wife and I would look at it. And then I had my wife shooting because we shoot with other dudes who you're not paying a lot or that are really just about getting their credits as a director. They'll let you look crazy. That's why there are makeup and hair people on sets, because directors care about the shot. They don't care about how you look. I'll be having boogers in my nose. One dread will be sticking out. Cattywampus. So if my wife shoots, she's going to make sure I look good because she's the one woman on earth that finds me attractive. So I'm like, fuck, this is perfect. And I get to be with my kids. So we shot at Griffith Park. We shot at all these things. Because his name is Babytron, so I call it Daddytron, and this has been a long time. So hopefully, God willing, when this podcast drops, you guys can go to YouTube and see the full thing. If not, I'll be releasing a different video every day for the next 34 days till December 23rd, with a little story and credits. And yeah, man, it's cute. And it's just something, I haven't been able to do something creative except for this album and now that I have almost full control over in a long time. As a dad, it's really been really challenging. So my kids are all through it, and it's not the most expensive thing, but I like that. That's what I want to go out the way I came in this shit. Like, my first tape was commercial. I said I want to have a picture of me riding a dinosaur stepping out of a vortex. I went to back when you used to go to what was the name of the magazine, the fucking space magazine, Nova or something like that. I had to go to I think I went to the library and stole an issue of that or ripped a page out, and then had my homie Tom Slick draw me. I went to him and said, how much can I pay you? Or I think he did it on stream, to draw me riding a dinosaur. And then I had to photocopy that, shrink it down, full color cover. I had to pay $1.98 per 89 per page for color copies. So I could put 4 on a page. I had to go my label is called Veritech Records. I had to use my Veritech book that I was reading, or my Robotech book, use the thing, photocopy that in color, then shrink it, then copy it in color 4 times, paste it to the thing, type Veritech Records, print that out, copy it, shrink the type, all that shit, then do the song listings, and then dub each tape, cut it so the intricacy, I just don't have the time to be as intricate as I do, to do as quickly to turn around, but that's how hands-on these videos are. Like, I picked every outfit, I ordered certain shirts off it's shit you won't even know, socks, things that I reference in the lyrics, the places, everything. Then went over the edits with AZ for, this is 2 years in the making. Like, the whole time I've been recording this record. So all of this, even this podcast, has been leading up to this final album. The podcast was also for my kids and also for me to go over the albums as I make final decisions and seeing where I made mistakes on my last albums and talking through it with myself. So when I put together this playlist, when I'm eliminating songs or adding songs, I know why I'm doing it, why I've done it in the past, and what songs have resonated and what I was thinking then and the results. So all this is very intentional. It's just you can't put a time limit on it because fucking kids and life. And letting creativity flow. But I've sat on this shit for a long time. I've sat on this album for a long time. 2025 shit. And we're getting off the pot after 2025. I'm taking a shit, y'all, in 2025. Bet you think that I don't know where we left off, but I do. I'm not even going to cheat and pause it and go back and listen. But before then, I wanted to, since Estevan took that cover, Estevan and Richie Abbott are still friends, my old publicist, and we're all still friends. And they do a sweat lodge. And he kept telling me they do sweat lodge and ice plunge, sweat lodge, ice plunge. And I'm like, all right. And they've been asking me to come over, but I can't come because they live way out in the fucking valley. And I live in Inglewood. So getting in Inglewood, when they do it early in the morning, I'm going with commuter traffic. And I got to get back to the babies and get to work and all these things. So I don't have time. So for years, they've been asking me. So what I started doing is to prepare for this, because they're like, you're not going to chicken out. We've had this person over. We had this person over. I'm like, I'm not going to be no punk bitch. So I'm going to get on my Wim Hof shit before I even get there. I got the Wim Hof app. I started waking up early, and I haven't taken a cold shower, a regular shower without a cold shower. First, I was just doing cold showers, and they were like, you have to take a warm. So I've been doing cold showering, 2 minutes of a cold shower for years now, preparing to go to Estevan's sweat and ice bath. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be a punk ass motherfucker. Fuck all this shit. I am going to be ready for these motherfuckers. I'm trying not to say the N-word, if you could tell. Because we all know each other now. Like, this is when we first start kind of really kicking it, 2010, 2008. So, like, this is 15 years now I've been cool with Estevan and Richie. So we got jokes. I'm not about to be a joke. And they're in my DMs like, ha, ha, ha. Mostly Richie. So I'm like, cool. I'm taking these cold showers. Finally get over there one morning. I'm like, all right. And it's time. And it's the winter. And taking cold showers is different. When you're in Colorado, in New York, and you're sticking to your shit, and it's winter, and you're in Minnesota, and it's time to take a cold shower, that water's a different type of fucking cold. Cold showers during the summer in hot places, the water's still warm. Even when you turn off the hot water. Oh, man.
And I like my love hot, no more cold showers. So silly little girl, simple little girl.
After 316, and when me and Ninth had done Murs Revenge, and I went to Australia, and I was like, that was the end of my rap career. Like, I had done everything. I rapped with E40. I made a song about LA. It wasn't out yet, but I knew, to me, it was a hit record. It was like, I had one of the records. I felt like I can play it. I don't play my music for other rappers or people, but this one I had to be like, let you hear it. And then I was with Lucky, and Lucky was like, this is a fucking hit record. Like, other rappers you respect, especially your big homie's not gonna fucking bullshit you. It's like, this is a flexible. He's asking me to play my record like I used to ask him to play Mystic Journey records. Like, this is another reason I was like, I don't care. I'm operating with free money in rap. Like, I impressed my big homies. E40 rap with me. Like, so we're down there, and I drive to the center of Australia. I believe we talked about this on the podcast. 2-lane highway, 17 hours or something. You miss the gas station, you're going to die out there. Came to a screeching halt. And what I thought was a pigeon, which became a vulture, which was bigger than the Yugo or whatever small car I rented. Then I go sleep under the stars. It was great. We go on an Outback expedition. It's just me. So I'm with some random German tourists. And then I was trying to do something. The water was cold, and the 2 German travelers I had met were laughing at me. And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm not going to get it right, but I'm sure it's something like that. But they're like, you know what we call Americans? There's a word for Americans and soft men in Germany. They call them Warmduschers, which means warm showers. Like, that's like how we say pussy. Like, they're like, yeah, that's basically, like, I was jumping in the pool, and I think it was cold. And they're like, come on. Come what? Like, if you don't have any good German friends, you're missing out. They're very matter of fact, like, what do you mean? It is just water that is cold. Why are not you jumping in? I don't understand. You want to go swimming, that is correct. Then you must jump in the water. Like, I'm like, motherfucker, it's freezing, girl. What the fuck? It's 100 degrees outside in the outback of Australia. Above that, it's hot as fuck. And I'm complaining about the water being cold. I'm fucking American. So I had that chip on my shoulder too when I've been on my cold shower shit. I can't be a warm douche or whatever the fucking time. I can't be a fucking pussy.
Warm douche, yeah.
I gotta take this fucking shower. So I get to Esteban's house. You do this measurements in the heat. I'm like, I'm an African. I'm good with. I live in Tucson. I love fucking heat. I love the heat. I'm good. Dry heat, give it to me. More any type of heat, I'm with it. Then it came time to jump in, and I'm like, fuck it, cause and I'm also telling too, like, you have to remember, like, I have 10 years or 7 years worth of Nazi dread upon my head top. When you guys get in this fucking ice bath, it's cool, but now when you're telling me I got to get in the pool, my hair is going to be wet for 3 days, motherfucker. Like, shit. Especially because it's winter. Like, it's not a time for I'm old and I'm black, and my mama told me if my hair is wet, I'm going to catch a cold. Like, I can't be out here like this with y'all, man. But I'm going to do it just to say I did it, and I've been training for this shit. Y'all niggas ain't ready for me, because that's what I was thinking. This motherfucker in Stefan's pool, he has a fucking temperature reader in there. I think it may have been. I was getting off easy because it wasn't frozen, but it might have been 36 point something. At the time, I was with the homie 1000, who's a dope MC. I ended up doing one of my favorite songs, my verses, where in recent history, that we have a song called They Agenda with Third World. They Agenda is a dope verse, both of us. So shout out to 1000.
Black love, brown pride. Black love, brown pride.
We was all good, they don't want us to remember, cause black and brown power ain't a part of their agenda. I walk in 3 different worlds at the same time. It might get triple the years for the same crime. So I don't fuck with white, and I don't fuck with coke. If you ain't ready to fight, the homie, fuck them jokes. But when you famous, gotta have a sense of humor to deal with the constant bullshit and the rumors. I'm assuming that you doing everything that you saying. But when we pulled up, you said you was only playing. Same motherfucker claim he running the streets is the same motherfucker that'll run from police. You shoot it out with us, but won't shoot it out with them. That's the same mindset that got you in and out the pen. Your flag is blue and white, or red, white, and green. Or red, white, and blue, we all on the same team. These white man's borders don't mean a damn thing. Is you down to ride if I decide to swing? Right wing, left wing, it's all the same dirty bird. Flip this bitch and got rich, saying all these dirty words. English ain't my native tongue, Spanish ain't yours. We was cool before the colonizers came with wars. The first time we hit them waves, we wasn't slaves. Before the Europeans, we was chillin', making trade. We was all good, they don't want us to remember, cause black and brown power ain't a part of their agenda.
1,000 words on Instagram, 1,000, no number in words, I think. So I'm at 1,000. So 1,000, Renee, the other homie, Esteban, Richie, they all like walk in the pool. And I'm like, hey, I gotta jump in, cause like, fuck it. I'm sorry I'm cussing y'all, but this is like, when shit get real, it is what it is, bro. I'm like, hey, all right, cuz I jump in. Like, we never seen anybody just dive in. I was like, I just gotta dive in. I dive in. And I swam, and I was like, oh, I got to get out. I felt like my limbs were going to fall off. That burning you feel in ice cold water. So I was like, I can't stop moving. So I would swim to the shallow end, walk up the steps. And they're like, just stay in. I was like, I can't. And I would just run and jump in again. I was like, you guys, I'm going to do this for 3 minutes. Y'all, they're like, what are you doing? You're just making it worse, because when you get out, you're getting warm, and then you jump back in. And I was like, this is how it's working for me. This is fucking insane. Like, when Wim Hof and all this shit, that's good for fucking people of European descent. But motherfucker, let me tell you, there's nowhere in West Africa where motherfuckers are ice bathing. Okay? It's natural for the fucking Nordic people who's descendants of Vikings and cold weather peoples. It is not normal for me. You can't put that on me. But I did it anyway. But on the second round, I went to dive in the pool and my toe got caught on some type of cement crack or something, and I ripped my toe open. Now I'm bleeding in Stevan's pool, but I'm not quitting. He's like, it don't matter, homie. You can still get on. I'm like, are you sure? I'm like, all right. So I try to finish up, but there's like a lot of blood. And he's like, all right. Before you leave, let me get a picture. Go back in the water and just walk in and stand there. And that is the cover to Take It Easy, My Brother Murs. That's why this might be the one project I press up on vinyl to get a big, high quality picture of that thing. Because you can't tell. Because I'm representing for the Crips and Bloods. In all my essays, I had to walk in there and chuck it up. Estevan's taking your picture. You can't be no punk bitch. Estevan Oil says he wants to take a picture. If your foot's bleeding and the water's freezing, you get in there and you chuck it up. Cause you what? That is, I'm looking at the picture right now on my desktop. Anyway, black people don't want to hear me rap about pro-blackness, even though I'm the most pro-black rapper I know. The example I give the kids I mentor is when you go to a fucking grocery store, Heinz ketchup is red. Heinz makes mustard. But if you're really player and really American, you will reach over the Heinz mustard and grab the French's mustard. And this is, I come from a black family. At the cookout, if you have Heinz mustard, somebody auntie or one of the cousins or somebody baby mama is going to say some shit about, oh, they didn't get French's mustard. Ugh. They just got the Heinz. Like, the good mustard is French's. You don't get Hunt's ketchup. You get Heinz ketchup. This is premium cookout shit. If you're going to have American mustard. If you're going to get Dijon, it's got to be fucking Grey Poupon. Like, we are a brand-driven nation. My brand does not make conscious rap. Even though I'm in the condiments aisle with the conscious rappers. Talib Kweli makes mustard. I make ketchup. Slug makes relish or whatever. I probably make the relish. I don't even know what the reputable relish company is. That's the level I'm at in this shit. But the big dogs, like the Qualis and the fucking Ali's and the fucking Atmospheres and the shit, Tech Nines, like Tech Nine makes mayonnaise. You know, I'm sorry I put my nigga on. I'm putting him on ketchup. I'll put ICP or I put Atmosphere on the mayonnaise. I'll put Atmosphere on them. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? These are the things. A1 makes steak sauce. There's other kind of steak sauce, but that is who makes steak sauce. I can make a great conscious record, but it's not going to resonate. will.i.am has a Loose Change. I think that's on BB, which is a great underground hip hop record. But by then, nobody wanted to hear it except for me. I love that record. Shit, BB had a run. That Pete Rock record, that Dilla record, that fucking will.i.am record. I'm probably missing one. I think it was BB. I don't know who the fuck that is, what the fuck that is. But within that brief, those few projects, that layout of the album was a black and white thing. Logo meant quality. They built that, once again, a brand. So the problem was not resonating with who I wanted to resonate with. Like, if I was moving Black LA like that, then me and Jack getting together on a track would have meant a lot more. And me working with Estevan would, you know. But the reason also I can move with them is because I don't really move Black LA like that. But I am 100% Black LA. I'm at the Taste of Soul. I'm outside. I'm more outside. I don't run into a lot of rappers. But, you know, shout out to G Perico, shout out to Dom. He's out here coaching baseball teams in Ladera. Like, he is part of the community. Shout out to Chase Infinite, J305. Like, the people I see outside, rappers I see outside, not when they're just shooting a video. You know what I mean? That's the type of LA and Black LA person I am in. You're going to see me in Leimert Park with my whole fucking family. Not just on Juneteenth, not just for whatever, like buying shit from Imani Gardens if you need vegetables and organic produce. They got great produce. But I'm at the park with my, but when I make songs that represent us, motherfuckers ain't hear that shit. That's not my fan base. But I never stopped trying until the Declaration. This album, I just did what I wanted to do. I'm not intentionally trying to. The Declaration with DJ Fresh was just that. I'm like, this is who I am if y'all care to check it out. But if not, I'm not, like I said, per se I want to make stuff that aligns with, and I don't want to shit on I don't let the fans dictate what I make, but I don't ever want to give you guys something that's not at least well done. and well thought out. And so that's what I'm giving you with this last record, and I hope you appreciate it. So I tried to give it with this record. I wanted to give West Coast a West Coast boom bap record, and that's what, so we got to talk streets, but if I'm going to talk the streets, I'm going to talk responsibly and motivationally. Pursuit of pure power is the path of the fool. Like, once again, that's my alliteration, that's my style. But so hopefully, I think it resonated with my fan base, but it wasn't the epic black-brown unity track that maybe somewhere in my back of my head I was trying to create. That is, the problem is, rest in peace to Uncle Chuck. He's no longer with us. If you can find anything he sings on. Like I said, I just loved the reaction of E. Jones and Ninth Wonder seeing his talent. I am a proud West Coast rapper, bro. And No Can Do would tell you when he first came out I didn't even know him. I had heard his name a little bit. Kale and No Can Do came out to, shout out to Kale, to Scribble Jam. I think it's the year I battled Idea. And everyone I tour with, everyone who knows, like I said, anyone who knows me knows how I am. They're like, hey, and somebody, I forgot Dibs, somebody was like, yo, your boys from Cali pulled up for Scribble Jam battle. I was like, oh, LA won. I don't even know. They who? I don't know. I don't really know them dudes like that. But I got $300. Something. I was like, I got money on it. Right now. Lost. But they came back though. They didn't get the whole thing. It's like in LA, like if you come with regular raps and bars, it's cool, but you gotta have some style. You gotta flip it. So they came out flipping and niggas was like, nah, this is Ohio, cuz. Like we know. But I believe they came back the next year and made good on it.
Zach De La Roca, Kaya De La Boca. You're not a rapper, you make lattes and mochas. This size 2010, that was 3060. But even in the bad one, I can tell you're a dirty hippie. You smell like patchouli and sage. You're booty today, you're losing on stage. You're truly enraged, raised against the machine, but it's the meth fiend addict. Next week, faggot, you have the best scene rapping. Go back to Miami like gin. Nigga, oh, you're not Cuban, you're just dirty and light skinned. I'll strike your chin, make your fucking jaw fold. It'll be awesome, alright, bro?
I had to tell him, like, look, nigga, like, I don't care who y'all are. I bet y'all lost me money. And but I was sad because No Can Do went on this tour with me, sold their verse for part of it. But I forgot the name of the song I did with No Can Do for his Jimmy the Lock album. But I did a Hurry Up and Wait. I love my verse on there. I don't even know if it's streaming anywhere. I think I love it.
And my name is Murs. I hail from Southern California, Mid-City section. Look, life is so hurry up and wait. Let me set a couple motherfuckers straight. You should really watch who you infuriate, cause I'm the new Bruce Lee making Fist of Fury 8. Chinese Connection Part 12. So before you fuck with me, you should kill yourself. And I'ma have to hurry up and wait on that before Jesus come through and bring all you haters back. Honestly, it's boring without y'all.
But I did a verse for the Hurry Up and Wait remix. He came on a tour. Me and Jack did the Fornever tour. And we brought him out to do Problem Is every night.
How many of y'all got Sick Jacken-assisted? Say what the problem is. Say what the problem is. What the problem is. Yeah, check it. Yo, let me start with what I know and let me put it in this flow. We got all the guns we need, but got no money to grow. We got all the coke and weed, but got no profit to show. Chucky's got a team of speed, but the brain is moving slow.
Like I said, I'm at the point where I'm not making bad records, but this is a record, like, I did over 30, maybe 40 records for my new album. This is a record that probably would have got cut. Not because it's not good, but because I know it's not going to resonate with who I wanted to resonate with. But becoming friends with Jack off of this record came to my house in Tucson, lived with me for 2 weeks, and we have a whole project with beats by the New Royales, but I don't know if they wouldn't clear it or something happened. The group broke up. It's a production team with DJ Khalil. They did Slaughterhouse. What's the song? The hit song for Slaughterhouse with the girl singing in it.
Sex and drugs and dirty money on the race to rule the world. You cut your teeth on fame and diamonds. Your time is up now. 3, 2, 1. We number one.
Yeah, we them Slaughterhouse rock stars. The bitch is black. We
And they sent us the two of the best songs that me and Jack had. We got it, I think it's called The Lost City. So yeah, we were just rapping. Shout out to Sick, was engineering it, living at the house, recorded at my house for 2 weeks. Everybody that comes to Tucson, if you go to Tucson, you got to go to BK's and preferably on the south side. It's they won on whatever food channel for the best Sonoran hot dogs. They're credited, I think, in a lot of places as the first people to bring Sonoran hot dogs to America. And if you know Southside Tucson, I don't know. I will know. Kind of like Miami's not America, Southside Tucson's not America. Praise God. It's one of my favorite places on earth because there's a res and it's basically so close. It's so close to Mexico. There's just like, I just love the vibes. I love the energy. I love like literal energy from the earth. They're so peaceful. I could see it now when I close my eyes. BK's in South Tucson, best tacos. And so I was like, man, I got to take, and then I think it was Jack himself, like, you're going to tell me a Mexican about tacos? Bro, how stare. He was fucking with me. He taking the piss, as they say in Europe, but he was, busting my balls. I was like, bro, and I was like, fuck, what if it's not that good? But I didn't get put onto it by America. Like my homeboy that grew up on the South Side, shout out to DJ Hearn, once again, put me on BK's, and we were living in Southside Tucson. Like every night we're going to get BK's. We can, because it's cheap. The tacos were like $1 and had like this fucking avocado, and I was fucking my stomach up because I didn't know it's like avocado with like cottage cheese and like salsa mixed, bro, with the fucking fresh cucumbers and the like white crispy lettuce. I swear they used to just get Costco chicken. It could have been for all I know. That's how good it was. Just about so much about the lime on top. I feel like it was just frozen Costco chicken breast they chopped up on the grill. It wasn't, but on top of it, the meat is fire. When I ate meat, bro. So I'm nervous. I'm shitting bricks, bro. I'm like, all right, now I done insulted this dude. I took the Mexican homie to fucking tacos. He got jokes. He's like, this shit better be good. I was like, this shit better. I was like, fuck. And Jack is, he's my friend, but he's still a scary guy, bro. Like, I don't want this guy mad at me or offended him. He's living in my house. We're doing a record. Bruh. He was like, yo, every day he's like, it's time to go to BK's. Let's go. It's time to go to BK's. Let's go. So if you're in Tucson, get a Sonoran hot dog, get a couple tacos. That's another thing, too. People don't fuck with the tacos like that. But no one I know has ever been disappointed. Even if you're just driving through America, make Tucson a stop because it's an amazing city. I could tell you a million great places to eat. And if you happen to go on a hip-hop night, there's amazing. One of my homies from Fresno I met through Fashion Puneet. Hit me up recently, like, I just moved to Tucson, what's up? I was like, boom, 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 boom. And he hit me back like, what? Yes. One of the greatest cities in the world. And I think we'll end it there. This is a long episode. Sorry. It was going to be short, and now I got happy. Peace. I got to let Bomb Shelter into the computer. If you haven't downloaded the Bomb Shelter app, please download the Bomb Shelter app, the home of underground hip-hop. I think most of it's still clean. But if you just want to hear classic underground hip-hop like The Atmospheres of Brother Ali's, The Blueprints, idea songs like In Rotation with Grouch and me and Sage Francis and all the shit that you love, like, but you don't want to like have to make a playlist or like just open the app 24 hours a day. It's already pre-mixed plus with some new shit and some Mac Miller and some Kendrick and Vince Staples and shit you're going to love that you didn't know you would love, or shit you already love and you're tired of, whenever you have a playlist, it's only 2002 or, 2008. It has everything. New, old, classic hip hop, boom bap, underground hip hop. Just no garbage commercial shit and no commercials. And it's a free app, the Bomb Shelter app. Download it. I love y'all if no one told you today. Peace. 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 Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace. Peace.